Welcome to Headline to Heartline. Every story begins with a doorway, and today we're stepping through one that opens into memory. Music and the kind of cultural shockwave only a true icon can create. Today's episode is all about the teaser for Michael, the long-awaited biographical film about Michael Jackson that arrives in theaters on April 24, 2026. The teaser has barely taken its first breath, and already the internet feels different. Within hours, it became the most watched launch for any music biopic, crossing more than 30 million views in its first 6 hours, and reaching 116.2 million in its first 24. Those aren't just big numbers. They're a reminder of how deeply Michael Jackson lives inside people's emotional memories. I felt it the moment I hit play. It was like someone lit up a room in my mind that had been dim for years. The title of the film is simply Michael. Not Michael Jackson, just Michael. When a person needs only a single name, it's because the world already knows the rest. Elvis, Marilyn, Diana. And yet this choice tells us something more. It signals that this story will move beyond the icon and toward the man, letting us see the heartbeat behind the spotlight. That balance between myth and humanity is what gives the teaser its electricity. It doesn't try to convince us of his greatness. It trusts that we remember. Instead, it starts to show us the life beneath the legend. And that alone brought back a flood of feelings I didn't expect. The official synopsis reveals that the film offers a fascinating and honest portrait of the brilliant and complicated man who became the king of pop. It promises to show his triumphs and tragedies on an epic cinematic scale, from his human side and personal struggles to his unmistakable creative genius, brought to life through his most iconic performances. It says, audiences will finally have an inside look at one of the most influential and pioneering artists the world has ever known. It's everything we've hoped for, and maybe everything we still need. What excites me even more is knowing who is shaping this story. The film is directed by Antoine Fuqua, written by John Logan, and produced by Graham King, the Oscar-winning force behind Bohemian Rhapsody. The Michael Jackson estate is involved through co-executors John Branca and John McClane, offering access to archives and details that only they can provide. Jaafar Jackson, Michael's nephew, steps into the lead role, and early footage shows how naturally he moves inside that legacy. Industry reports place the production budget at around $155 million, a scale worthy of recreating the eras, the concerts, and the emotional atmosphere Michael built around his art. Watching the teaser felt like returning to a moment in my own life. The quick cuts, the studio glimpses, the choreography, the shadows, the flash of a single glove. These aren't just images. They're sensations. They're memories tied to where we were, who we were with, and what it felt like to see someone redefine what music and movement could be. When the teaser ended, I realized I wasn't just excited for a movie. I was excited to meet that part of myself again. As we look toward April 24, 2026, the anticipation keeps rising. This isn't just a film release. It's a cultural event forming in real time, and people around the world can feel the pull. If the feature delivers on what this early glimpse suggests, Michael may become the defining biographical film of this generation, something that doesn't just tell a story, but reawakens the emotions that shaped it. Thank you for joining me today. Remember to like and subscribe so we can keep exploring these stories together. And as we close, let's step back to that doorway we opened at the beginning. Some stories don't just invite us in. They remind us where we first learned to dream.